What's up, guys? It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles. It's Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021 AD. Anno Domini. Am I pronouncing that incorrectly? I listened to a podcast recently of a man named Jared Taylor of American Renaissance, and he pronounced it differently from me, and he speaks pretty properly. More properly even than me, maybe. Shout out to Jared Taylor. And I think he called it Anno Domini, something like that. But anyway, I have some things to cover, and of course, hopefully, a fun, loosey-goosey Wednesday show here, right? And of course, stay tuned for, well, don't stay tuned, but get ready for a Bond Archive Sunday Service throwback that I'm personally kind of excited about the power of love and MLK. It's from 2013 in January 20th or so. MLK Day was around the corner, or it had just happened or something like that. And was MLK a communist? Irrelevant. But you can have your opinion. You can join into the chat on Bond YouTube channel, Bond Rebuilding the Man. But I'm also going to talk about vax madness and the virus hype from phony politicians who are not trustworthy. What a shame. What a shame. They are harming public health by being liars. Right? Or having a history of lying and being evil, right? And Build Back Better 666. The radical evil people are going after Joe Manchin, who himself is... Can you be a Democrat and not radical and evil? Joe Manchin is like a sort of an old school Democrat, I guess. I think he's supposed to be pro-life, by the way. And the population not seemingly increasing. I have an example of feminists talking about being child-free is the word that they like to use now. Ridiculous. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
Have you been naughty or nice?
It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. La, la, la. It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report.
Hey, guys!
It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. La, la, la. It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. Hake on lead vocals. Nope, it was not me. But shout out to Trevor Wesley for the Christmas remix. Christmas, the pagan and Christian holiday. We welcome everybody of goodwill. Nice. Isn't it ridiculous? This is just sort of a side note, opening remarks, I guess, that if they really wanted to have people be on their side, they being the people who are running the world, if you will, the evil people running the world, wouldn't they select, if they have to use a term or a name for what they're doing, wouldn't they use something better than Build Back Better or something better than The Great Reset? These are like scumbag, sleazy, satanic sounding, globalist, socialist, just creepy, we make the decisions for your life type stupid stuff. Dumb, evil, sick names. Like you're trying to make us not be on your side. Anyway. Here's a quick little intro on vax madness and the virus hype. Are you vaxxed? And I don't hold it against you. I disagree with some of you guys who think that this is sin to, quote unquote, put this thing inside of your body. I don't think that it is necessarily a sin. especially for the people who have not been healthy over their lifetime and they're out of shape, overweight, meaning fat, have health issues. A whole lot of us, especially in these rich, spoiled countries like America and elsewhere, have not taken care of themselves, and maybe you take the risk of whatever side effects, long-term side effects from the vaccine to avoid whatever long-term side effects from or death or whatever from the mess. Just an idea. I know some of you guys strongly disagree with me. In particular, Samuel from Sweden strongly disagree with me about that. You can call in 888-775-3773. But clearly, I am not on board. Don't simp, Hake, says Ryan H.U. I'm not simping. Most of my viewers, at least the outspoken ones, totally disagree with me. I would be being politically correct if I were to pretend to agree with them, right? I think. Here is clip 11. Listen to this, though. This is kind of like talking me out of it. Not that I was ever even really considering it. NYC. Breaking 911. Shout out to Breaking 911. A fake Breaking 911 said that I covered this a week or two, probably 2-3 weeks ago. Oh, Ryan H.U. just teasing. A fake Breaking 911, a troll, because Breaking 911 should have a blue check mark on Twitter because they're media. Not that blue check mark is a positive thing necessarily. Said that guy who pretends to be black, is he really black? He is a Black Lives Matter agitator, propagandist, writes for New York Daily News. Sean King. The fake news, the fake Breaking 911 reported Sean King posthumously gave Paul Rosenbaum, the first attacker, who was accused of, or convicted, I think, as a 17-year-old or 18, 20-something-year-old, I don't know, of messing with young minors, like 15, 14, 13, 12, maybe even 9-year-olds. I'm not sure. But that guy who attacked Kyle Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse, who said, "Shoot me, Enga, N-word ga. Shoot me, Enga." He's Jewish, but he looks white, so people are like, "Oh, a white man saying the N-word." Well, he was posthumously given the N-word pass, according to the fake news media, by the white man, the white black radical, light-skinned black radical, if black-hearted radical, Sean King, according to Breaking 911, but it wasn't really Breaking 911, so Breaking 911's founder was like, "Come on, Twitter, give us the blue check marks so stuff like this doesn't happen," and it was retweeted by Ben Shapiro and others. Anyway, Breaking 911 plays this. NYC Mayor de Blasio says a vaccination team will come to your house if you call. But I don't know. It seems... and give everyone in your family the booster shot, and everyone who gets it, $100. Listen to this.
Any city resident who wants at-home vaccination, it can be scheduled. A vaccination team comes to you. By the way, they can provide vaccination for the whole family. Many people has want it, whether people need a first dose, a second dose, or a booster, or if different people in the family are at different points in their vaccine trajectory. The teams that come to your home have the ability to provide whatever help you need. And the $100 incentive is available for every family member. That's crucial.
I can't wait for him to be out of office. I'm not even in New York City. I have not been to New York City, I don't think, since he's been there. I forget who was mayor of NYC last time I was in NYC. But, and I know that what comes next may be not good either, because it is a Democrat, a black Democrat, former cop Democrat, but a lot of black cops, you may not know this, but I happen to know this. A lot of black cops are not like based black cops, if you want to call him based. I like him. I really do like him. Officer Tatum former officer Brandon Tatum, a black cop who's like, wait a minute, this BLM stuff is stupid. And then he's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show multiple times. But Eric Adams is the incoming mayor of New York City, and he's a black Democrat. And I told you about the black female woman. Yes, a female woman who is taking over for probably like a so-called white liberal. Is there such a thing? Who is police commissioner, replacing the white man with the black female. So I don't know that what's coming in is going to be any better than Bill de Blasio, but this guy's a sleaze. And what's he going to do next? Who knows? What a mess. I remember I was kind of, honestly, it's a secret. I've never told anybody this, but I was a little excited when Bush was going out, and then we had this sleazy guy, which I knew he was sleazy, but it was kind of like exciting in a sick way. Obama coming into office. Terrible. I was like, what's going to happen? Oh my gosh. Horrific. Should have been excited about that. Not that Bush was, I wasn't particularly a fan of, I was not into politics. I was not a fan of Bush. Much less Obama. Obama! Dumb people like, what is his name? Joe from Phoenix thinks, you just hate Obama because he's black. Stupid. Anyway, NYC, down the tubes. That's what they get, honestly. They've elected this guy's a socialist mayor. Openly socialist. And not like the based kind of socialist people. I know that some of you guys think that there's such a thing as based socialists. He's far from it. He married a woman who used to be a black lesbian. Now she's black, and it's not up to a jury, but the jury's out. No, I'm playing. Anyway, here's a little bit more, though. Chicago. Speaking of black lesbians, Mayor Lightfoot. Is Lori Lightfoot actually a black lesbian? I think that she is. Breaking 911. Shout out to Breaking 911. Quotes Mayor Lightfoot as saying, and I believe them, they are not fake news. If you have been living vaccine-free, states Lightfoot, alien-looking woman. I'm going to play you some of her voice, too. Oh, my gosh. Sounds worse than usual. Or maybe it's just, I'm sensitive right now. My ears are sensitive. If you have been living vaccine-free, your time is up. She said your time is up. What the heck? If you wish to live a life with the ease to do the things you love, you must be vaccinated. It says a lesbian. It's not healthy to be a lesbian. It's less healthy to be a male homosexual, I hear. But it's not healthy to be a lesbian, by the way, I don't think. It's not good anyway. The health order may pose an inconvenience to the unvaccinated, and in fact, it is inconvenient by design. I've heard Flat Sabbath says she's hot. I've heard other evil people, like that guy with the white hair. He was a former hippie. He sang "Puff the Magic Dragon," but Puff Coronavirus or something like that. Cringy liberal song with his wife swimming through the air like she's Francis Collins. That guy, he was advocating to make life inconvenient, make life hard for the so-called unvaccinated. Based on nothing, based on no reality. And in fact, I've heard, and I believe it, Revolver.news has covered it. They've made up reports, compiled reports and analyses that the shutdowns have been worse. And they've been reporting this for probably a year or more. Worse for people, killing people, decreasing life years, they call it, more so than the virus, FYI, but they don't tell you that, they being the mainstream media and these establishment acceptable politicians. Here is this frog in her throat, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, whom whoever lives in Chicago voted for. I miss the mob. I miss the Italians. I missed it, the good old days when we only had to worry about the Italian criminals and the Irish criminals and the less out of control black criminals from back in the good old days. Not that I was around back then, but it seems like it was better. Here's Lightfoot talking about if you're going into that coffee shop to pick up and go, you don't need to show proof. But if you're going to linger, if you're going to eat that muffin, you're going to sit down with that laptop, you got to show proof of vaccination. Says the health-conscious lesbian. Listen to this.
Also exempt are any individuals entering an establishment for less than 10 minutes for the purpose of merely ordering food or drink. So if you're going into that coffee shop to pick up and go, you don't need to show proof. But if you're going to linger, you're going to eat that muffin, you're going to sit down with your laptop, you got to show proof of vaccination.
Is this how she normally talks? Or is it worse than normal? Imagine if I tried to do my show like that. I can't even imitate it right now. I guess I need to cough up some phlegm, but I don't really have any. Gross. This freak show, yeah, I mean, she's wild looking. How does she win? Wild. Well, that's that for the vaccine hype. Well, you know what? Let me tell you a little bit about this, this stuff going on with the deaths and stuff. Because I saw that this Commie Nonsense Network says the CDC released new data. Tell me if you believe this, purportedly showing the China virus was the third leading cause of death in 2020. I read this in Hake News, allegedly claiming more than 350,000 lives in the United States, lowering life expectancy by nearly 2 years. CDC is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They're inside of, I think, HHS, the U.S. Department of so-called Health and Human Services, if I'm not mistaken. Corrupt bureaucracy, I think. Lowering life expectancy by 2 years. You guys remember, I did not trudge through the Revolver.news report, but they had some exclusive reports. Revolver.news. Let's see if you can still find it, because they do have exclusive reports. Exclusives. I bet you that you can find it to this day about what's going on with the, or what has happened with the life years that were lost. They cover, to this day, they cover Ray Epps, that guy who was a suspected Fed who was saying, we're going to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. They cover a lot of Rittenhouse stuff. Various things. But you can probably find it. They have a lot of exclusives, though. If I dig it up, I shall share it with you. Third leading cause of death, driving record rise in death rate. I don't know if the death rate has the death rate risen that much? The deaths overall? Deaths by any cause? Has it risen that much? I wonder. I know that murders have gone up. I know that overdoses have gone up. I know that people have gotten fatter amid the shutdowns, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do when you are at risk for a cardiovascular and respiratory disease like the China virus supposedly is. Life expectancy fell from 78.8 years to 77 years, 1.8 largest single-year decline in more than 75 years since World War II. World War II. Another, well, should I call it another scam? I'm told by many of you guys that it was a scam. $835 deaths per 100,000 people. Jumped 17% from 2019, supposedly. But who knows? National Center for Health Statistics. Affected blacks, Hispanics, Hispanic males especially, black males. Hispanic people, it went up about 3 times as much as for whites. Because those guys, they may act like they're going to work every day, but they're eating and drinking and not leading necessarily healthy lives, whatever. Anyway, the evil shutdowns, I say, are what exacerbated this stuff. Stupid. Anyway, let me get to this. Build back better 666. Is it 666? Is it satanic? It seems like it to me. Because they're pushing paid family leave, child tax credit stuff. Fake. And it's also climate propaganda, climate mess, economic package, lower the health care costs. Yeah, right, you're not lowering anything. Sleepy Joe insisted that he and Manchin will get something done on the Build Back Better communist plan. Manchin defied his party, right? Evil Democrats. This is Sleazy Joe's agenda. And I'm going to show you an evil woman. Manchin announced Sunday he could not support this sweeping economic and climate bill. He faces calls from I told you about this in Hake News as well. He faces calls from a union, coal miners union. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think that the coal miners are being betrayed by their union, right? Seems like it to me. Are the unions trustworthy? In general, no. I would say no, in general. It's ridiculous. They said, they put out a statement lauding the legislation's provisions because it's going to give them free stuff, tax incentives to encourage manufacturers to build facilities in coal fields, employing thousands of coal miners who are out of work, and they're put out of work by the Obama and Biden agenda. Stupid. You kill them, you kill their jobs, and then they beg for more help from the same people who killed their jobs. Stupid. Sorry, kids. I keep on saying stupid. Here's a quick report from Daily Wire. The Daily Wire is it's a somewhat conservative outlet, I guess. Democrat, a black male, New York Democrat, Jamal Bowman, blasted West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin on CNN on Monday, calling him a white man who doesn't care about black people. It's tremendously frustrating for me as a black man in America, he said. Because once again, it's an example of Joe Manchin as a white man showing that he doesn't care about black people. He doesn't care about Latinos. He doesn't care about immigrants. He doesn't care about women. Listen to this simp. And he doesn't care about the poor. Phony Jamal Bowman said. Ridiculous. It went from $3.5 trillion bill, remember when it was called $3.5 trillion, to $1.75 trillion because of him, his special interests, his donors, his lobbyists, cutting the bill for several months because they did not want this bill to pass. Why? Because this bill disproportionately supports people of color. It supports women. It supports children. No, it doesn't, liar. It supports those who are poor and lifts them out of poverty. Nope. Why wouldn't Manchin want to support this when it would benefit West Virginia tremendously? There is that tremendous word again. And he also tweeted, wow, Senator Joe Manchin, with all due respect, whom he just said called a racist white man. No such thing. When you say you're no on Build Back Better, is it you or is it the special interest money that powers you? Yeah, that's a whole lot of respect. I'm inviting you to my district to see just how badly we need this bill. Will you tell my community no to our face? Stupid black trying to intimidate the white man. Here's another evil black female. Well, he's a female-minded woman. I mean, male. Same thing, right? Dirty women in Congress. And then I will get to your calls, guys. Clip 13. This is from Breaking 911 as well. Female Somalian Muslim refugee congressman Ilhan Omar. With her manly voice. Democrat out of Minnesota. And she's cussing. If she's for this, I'm not for it. Listen to her.
We all knew that Senator Manchin couldn't be trusted. You know, the excuses that he just made, I think, are complete bullshit. It is really disheartening to hear him say that he has been trying to get there for the people of West Virginia, because that's a complete lie. The people of West Virginia would greatly benefit.
What's up with these black females? Get the frogs out of your throat, by the way. She's speaking with pure vocal fry. Some people did something. Psycho woman. And she's shamelessly cussing. That was an MSNBC clip, by the way. MSLSD, MSDNC. Cussing on cable news. Play some Pink Floyd today, Hake, says Jay. What's up, Jay, in San Diego? Now I'm going to play a Christmas song. And I have some commentary on the Christmas music that I've been playing. What's up with these dirty, evil, nasty, filthy, cussing women in Congress? I thought of Republican females who have been cussing, at least one anyway, who've been cussing in Congress. And I remember there was this bisexual woman who was going with 3 people, her husband and some female staffer, doing sick stuff, and she had to resign. Ilhan Omar would be cute if she wasn't a Muslim, says Viewer USA. He said it. Yeah, and she's wearing that towel thing. Remember Rashida Tlaib, the other Muslim female congressman? Back in 2019, GQ, I have a few headlines to show you. ban Viewer USA from chat, says Chris. Oh, man. Mari Uyehara. Mari Uyehara. 2019 in GQ, which is supposed to be Gentleman's Quarterly. What's a woman, evil feminist woman, doing writing for Gentleman's Quarterly? Oh, yeah. GQ is a radical homosexual magazine, basically. Or stupid evil. Anyway, pro that. GQ. Women politicians should swear more, says her headline. And she has a picture of Rashida Tlaib. And Rashida Tlaib is a Palestinian woman, if I remember correctly. And she's not for anything good. This Mari Uyehara wrote back in January 2019, after she took office, right? She won, whatever. She was about to take office anyway. Last week, a terrible, terrible thing happened in Washington, D.C. A woman said a swear word. I know. I don't know how to pronounce that. Maybe she's speaking German. I mean German, not a manly tongue. She's speaking that girly tongue French. When your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won. Bullies don't win. I said, this is Rashida Tlaib talking in a bar. I said, baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there and we're going to impeach the MFer, mother F, bleep, Representative Rashida Tlaib, the Democrat from Michigan, the first Palestinian-American woman in Congress, told an uproarious crowd at a Move On event. Remember MoveOn.org? I think the MoveOn.org started in response to after 9/11, because George W. Bush was like, we got to deal with this terrorism threat. And then the liberals were like, no, we got to move on, MoveOn.org. That was the impression that I had. But now they're going after the whites. They don't want to move on from the white terror of slavery and Jim Crow and all that mess. This week, the week in patriarchy. Women swear sometimes. Let's get the H over it, writes Arwa Mahdawi back in 2019 in the far left, foreign outlet, The Guardian. Yes, British is foreign now. It's overrun by foreigners, and their false values are foreign to the American Christian values, that's for sure. But shout out to the Christian-friendly UK people. Move On is a communist organization. Yeah, anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-men. Sick. Sick stuff. And of course, this evil woman, Cortez, is in there. Shameful. And I told you about these other, like, supposedly white female Republican Congress females who have been in office cussing about some of our best, most pro-Trump, most representative of the true American people, politicians and Trump. I can't remember her name, but I covered it a couple of weeks ago. Evil woman cussing shamelessly to the media about patriotic politicians, both males and females. Sick. Degeneracy. It's not ladylike. Yes, it's a double standard, and rightly so. Men cussing is manly. At times. Unless they're just going off out of control like a female, right? But these females, it's not right. Anyway, let me get to Joe in Phoenix, Arizona. Joe, how are you doing?
Good morning, James.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right. Obama.
Turn down the show. I hear myself.
Hold on.
All right. Obama!
Yeah. First of all, I never said that you hated him just because he was black. I said you hated him because he was black and did an excellent job, and there's plenty of evidence for that. Now.
You said I hate him because he's black and he's doing an excellent job?
He did. He's not in office anymore, James.
Right. He's black and he did an excellent job, and that's why James hates him.
Yes.
This is a black, and you're a Republican, right?
I am. I go by the facts only.
He's a Republican Christian, and he thinks Obama did an excellent job, and he thinks that's why Hake hates him. This is the Tulsa riot all over again. The white man being mad about a black man's success. That's ridiculous.
75% reduction in deficit. Cut taxes for 95% of Americans. Unemployment cut in half. Record stock market performance. Record funding for the DEA. Bin Laden killed. Record guns and ammo sale. Those are just facts, James.
Guns and ammo sale. Yes, you're pretending that Obama wanted that, and so he orchestrated record guns and ammo sale. Such a phony person, Joe.
It happened under his watch. Yes,
it doesn't mean that he wanted that to happen. You're silly.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
are you pretending that he wanted that to happen?
He wanted the economy to be strong. So yes, guns and ammo sale was part of it. Yeah.
He wanted guns and ammo sales to go up.
Actually, I was saying that partially tongue in cheek. They went up because
okay.
people thought that he was going to try and take them away, and he didn't.
And then we had the slowest, according to like Sean Hannity and more honest people than who you're citing, slowest so-called economic recovery, maybe in history.
Yes, it was a recession.
Slowest recovery, not talking about recession. Slowest recovery.
James, when Obama took office, according to Treasury...
No. Acknowledge it. True or not? True or false? Slowest recovery.
By some measurements, yes. Not all.
See?
See? Yes.
See? So you're not telling the whole truth. When you say, those are the facts. No, those are your cherry-picked facts because you identify with your blackness and your intellectualism, which Obama's a fellow intellectual.
You are amazing.
What? It's the truth. That's why in your deluded mind you think that I'm mad that Obama is black and successful. JLP is black and successful. Why am I not? Why am I not? Why am I not mad at him?
Because Jesse loves to lie about stereotyping, denigrate black people.
Not true. He tells the truth about blacks. He loves blacks.
No, he
Yes.
hates black people when he lies.
No, you don't. You don't know his heart. You don't even know your own heart. You breathe.
You certainly
breathe.
don't know my heart.
You breathe arrogance. Everybody can hear it in your voice. Arrogance and disdain for JLP, and me in a sense, because you think that you actually think that I hate Obama just because he's black and successful as a president.
I know that's what it is.
All right, buddy. Psycho.
All right.
Do you realize that that's an insane take?
James, your takes are beyond insane. So
No. But do you realize that your take is insane?
No, I don't.
No.
It's 100% true, and it's factual.
No, it's
All
not.
right.
It's not factual. You don't know my heart. What the hell? What the heck?
Oh, come on. You call me all kinds of names, and you say that you know me, and you have no clue about who I am or what I do or anything. So
I have clues. You've given me a lot of clues, and I call you names that are accurate, like Snake. I call you Sleepy Joe. I call you Angry.
The biggest snake possible, calling someone else a snake. Amazing.
How am I? Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
He divided the country like no one else. He greatly expanded. He greatly expanded. I was gonna say something other than abortion, but he expanded abortion too. Paid for abortions overseas.
Abortions.
Yeah. No, he did. I know that abortions have been falling a long time because a lot of people are fighting against it, and a lot of women are waking up to the fact that, oh, I'm actually killing a baby. I don't want to do that.
And we talked about,
but that's not Obama's credit. That's not to Obama's credit. That's like pretending, nah. And then
he said he wanted less abortions and more fostering and more adoptions.
That's lip service. That's lip service. And adoptions are not a good thing. No, but that's lip service.
Adoptions are not a good thing?
No, they are not a good thing. We need real fathers and mothers adopting their real people. He expanded the same-sex marriage thing. Yeah, he was expanding the gays including transgenders in the military. He repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the military.
Because we were having a manpower shortage, James. You don't know this.
You have every excuse.
Obesity epidemic. We can't even find healthy people to join the military.
So we need fit gays to come in. Okay.
The military needs anybody who's fit.
Right, I know. And so we need those fit gays in the military.
You keep interrupting me. That's not what I said. So don't
but you're interrupting me because I'm refuting your points and you interrupt me.
Refuting nothing. You refute nothing. You just spew your propaganda.
It's not propaganda to say that Obama was pro-gay, pro-abortion.
BC James.
Huh?
Anyway.
BC James?
BC James.
What's that mean?
BC. You don't even. I know you don't know history, but I'll leave it at that.
He's explained this to me before, but I don't remember. But hold on. Quiet for a moment. Obama was extremely pro-gay and pro-transgender. He repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Utter shamelessness in the military. Pretending that that's a positive thing. And he's making excuses because we had a shortage of fit people. The solution is fitness. Is not expanding the unfit. Not morally fit. And then he was pro-abortion. He even said that if his daughters make a mistake, he wouldn't want them punished with a baby.
He also said he wanted less abortions and more fast.
That's lip service. That's the same lip service all the Democrats talk about with, we want abortions safe, legal, and rare. But meanwhile, they have utter shamelessness. Shout your abortion. We have women going out of control, and they say nothing about it. His wife pushed the Bring Back Our Girls thing, ignoring the little boys getting massacred by that ISIS affiliate over in Africa, Boko Haram. He did all kinds of evil. He pretended that Black Lives Matter was legitimate.
The Bring Back Our Girls thing was for a specific set of girls who were kidnapped. Not for all girls versus all boys.
I know he ignored the boys and men who were being massacred, and it's utter, not utter.
Listen.
And what else? Oh, he brought Black Lives Matter to the White House multiple times. Meanwhile, Trump had to cancel alt-right coming to the White House, or anybody even close to so-called alt-right coming to the White House. And alt-right are much more honorable men than the BLM sleazebags, by far.
72 hours from a complete banking failure on day one.
That's irrelevant.
72 hours.
That's irrelevant.
No, he did a fantastic job.
No, he did not.
Around the economy.
No, he did not.
He handed Trump an economy adding 300,000 jobs every month after inheriting a disaster.
The economy,
losing
the economy did well.
Jobs per month. So you're interrupting because.
Boy, you're rambling. You're rambling. You're rambling and you're lying.
I'm just giving you facts.
No, you're not giving me truth, though. You're rambling and you're lying.
He handed Trump an economy adding 300,000 jobs per month.
I don't have to listen to this mess because you're giving irrelevant stuff. It's true. It's true. Okay, Mickey Mouse. You're Mickey Mousing the facts. Because
true,
Trump...
you can attack all you want to because you can't refute it.
Hold on, Joe. Trump greatly improved the economy. Obama had it trudging slow. Now he's laughing because he doesn't want to accept the truth.
Now you're lying. Because you're absolutely lying. Trump
No, you're the one lying.
To improve the economy.
You're lying.
Nothing to improve the economy. Name one thing, one policy, James, that Trump did to improve the economy. You can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
What?
See, you're trying to say, you can't. Name one thing you can't. Listen to this sleazy snake. Communist. You're a communist.
Biggest snake possible, calling us to an snake.
Hush, calm down. Trump had a policy. Trump had a policy. I'm putting Joe on hold because he can't contain himself. Of reducing regulations, based America first. Cut regulations. For every new regulation, you have to cut 5 or something like to that effect. He was doing all kinds of stuff to improve the economy, and it was booming until the China virus hit and the globalists. Oh, shut it down. That's what they did to Trump's economy. And so you're a liar. You're a liar, Joe. Hello?
You still there?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay.
Yep.
I heard a beep. All right, last thing. A prior call about...
He has to move on because I debunked his thing on Trump versus Obama economy.
No, because I know you want to listen to the truth. That's why I'm using it. So
Thank you.
You believe as you like.
Yeah, I only listen to the truth. Like. You're not a man of truth.
Wow, it's amazing how snaky you are.
You are not a man of truth at all.
Anyway, James, you have no truth in you. I only say the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Now, last call about the Dayton, Ohio cops. We were saying the same thing, but you wouldn't listen.
I did listen. You're still hung up on the Dayton, Ohio thing from 2011?
My only point I was making is that they didn't lower it just for black people. That was my only point. And I was against lowering it for anybody, let alone black people. That was my only point, but you wouldn't listen because you're a snake. I know what your point was. You ignored the fact that JLP was telling the truth. He's talking about, folks, the fact that absolutely not.
I'm putting him on hold. He's ignoring the fact that that JLP said they lowered the test scores because blacks weren't getting in. They lowered it and said, blacks, you can make an F on the test. Since you can't make a D, you can make an F in order to become a cop in Dayton, Ohio. It's a story from like 2011. I remember when I was a listener of the JLP show. I was not even producer. And so Joe is saying, Jesse said that he lowered it just for the blacks. Well, when it's specially with the blacks in mind, that's the way of saying it's just for the blacks. But he's all, no, it was everybody. If they can make an F, they can make the thing. And so Jesse's lying, therefore. What a silly nitpicking lie you are.
Is that true, though?
Yes,
it
is.
For everybody, James?
Yeah, he lowered it for everybody, specifically for the blacks.
Wrong.
Yes, it was.
It's for anybody.
For anybody, but because you admitted...
Now.
No. You admitted... I put Joe back on hold because he keeps on rambling. He admitted that it was because blacks weren't getting in. That's Jesse's only point. I have to defend Jesse Lee Peterson on this. I can't believe it. That was JLP's only point, Joe. And you pretended that he was lying.
So cowardly.
You are the one who
No
is a coward because you can't admit that you're lying on JLP.
Cowardly snake. And he went on to say that, you know, the black people were whimpering and whining to lower the scores. And I gave you examples of people who were standing against it. And, you know, we don't want lower scores for anybody. And you gloss right over that, of course.
Because it's irrelevant. There's always going to be decent people opposing what's wrong. You don't hear the masses of blacks condemning this stuff. You hear the masses of blacks pretending that affirmative action is a good thing. Meanwhile, they turn around and complain that, oh, somebody speculated that I was this beneficiary of affirmative action.
James, you know white women are the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action, right?
Thanks for saying something irrelevant.
That's the point.
It's not the
So
point.
you love to identify black people with affirmative actions when white women are the biggest beneficiaries.
I don't want them to get it either.
That's the point.
It's not the point. There's white women greatly outnumber blacks. There's like more than twice as many white women as blacks in this country.
Can you stop lying about anything, James? Good grief.
Are you aware that there's more than twice as many white women as blacks in this country?
Depends on how you define white, James.
I know.
I'm not going to go there.
I know.
Now.
But are you aware? It's a yes or no question. That so-called white women who are getting affirmative action.
How many white women are there in the country, James?
There are more than twice as many, 2.5 times as many white women as black people.
How many white people are in America, James?
5 times as many as blacks.
Yeah, so you're not getting a number because you don't know.
I don't have to know. You're asking an irrelevant question. You
don't have to know.
You're asking an irrelevant question.
Oh, you're amazing.
You're the one who's amazingly snaky.
Biggest snake going, man. My goodness. You just want to get on the internet and denigrate black people without any...
I have not denigrated black people at all. I've just only told the truth in pure love.
You just said that the massive of black people, want lower standards, and that's just not true. And you have no way of measuring that. So
yes, it is. All of the major blacks who are in the media right now push for affirmative action.
That's not most black people. That's people in the media.
Okay, so cite me the sources that say most blacks oppose affirmative action.
I never claimed they did.
You can't.
I never said
you
they
can't.
Did. You just said that. You just said that most do, and you can't.
I don't have to.
You just made a claim.
I don't have to.
Just admit you lied. Just admit you lied. James.
You admit you lied.
I never said most likely people support it. You did.
I know, because they do.
And you have no proof.
I don't have to have proof they support the Democrat Party, which supports affirmative action. You're being deceiving.
Most black voters support the Democratic Party, not most black people.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
You have no proof again, James. I mean, you just...
Okay, goodbye. What a mess. What a snake. Let me see. Lord Graham, let's get some sense on the air. How are you doing, Lord Graham, out of Washington, D.C.?
How you doing? Hey, can you hear me good?
I can hear you fine. Thank you.
Nice. See, I tried to tell the people in the chat, Hake doesn't like to let me get on with people no more, man. I think they think I'm lying. But,
you wanted to address Joe. I had already been on the air with him too long, man.
I wasn't going to make it too long. I was just gonna,
No. I wasn't saying you were going to make it long. I was saying I was already tired of Joe.
I was just going to tell him how to carry the cabbage for like a good 2 minutes, but that was about it.
What did you want to say?
Anyways, yeah, I was going to say, but the fact that that Joe wants to actually compare, there's no comparison between Trump and Obama. There's literally none.
A man versus a boy. Trump the man.
Yeah,
Obama is a boy.
Exactly. There's literally no comparison because, I mean, he wants you to pinpoint specifics and all the specs and all that good stuff about, Trump and what he done and everything. Well, where's your proof? Where's your proof? Where's your proof? Where's your proof?
Right.
I mean, come on, man. Like you really sitting here trying to make it seem like Obama was like the best thing since sliced bread. Trump, what he did,
and he calls himself a Republican.
He did way more stuff for black people. Trump did way more. He got more people to work.
Too much.
He got more black people to work.
True.
He bailed out many black people out of jail, people that probably should have stayed in jail, but he did it out the kindness of his heart. I mean, I can, if I wanted to, I could go on, on Google right now and just bring up a whole bunch of good specs about Trump that would, shut Joe. Well, actually, it might not even shut Joe up because Joe would, he's in full denial, so he probably still would, think the way he think. Even if I did just bring up a whole list of all the specs, you know what I mean?
That's what Obama does. That's what Obama does. You catch him in a lie, he lies some more.
The only thing that I can really say that I really remember that Obama tried to do was that Obamacare. He tried to put his name in history or something, with that Obamacare stuff. But other than that, man, I mean, and that was a disaster. But other than that, there wasn't really nothing he did, especially for like black people in specific. If Joe really, is on board with Obama, I can't see how. I mean, because he didn't really, because Joe likes, black people so much, and Joe wants to help black people and everything. But why are you so for a person who really did nothing for the black people, and he did more for the homosexuals and the gays and stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you so adamant to defend this guy? Is it because of the color of his skin, Joe? Is that the reason why? Because Obama has melanin in his skin? I mean, these people kill me with this, man. Just because you got, I mean, they say they're not racist, they can't be racist, but black people only decide things based off of people's skin color and if they got melanin in their skin or not. They'll only side with somebody literally just because they have brown in their skin, and that person could be
especially
bad.
If they support evil, like Obama does.
And that person could be bad. He could be, evil and all kinds of stuff. But if he got melanin in his skin, we got to go along with the brother. We got to help the brother, even though the brother don't want to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Joe, you're a fool, man. Hake saved you, but it's okay. I know you can hear me. I know you're in the chat. You're a fool, man. You came on here and just said a whole bunch of rubbish, man. I don't even understand how you even thought in your mind that logically that was the right thing to say. Like, I don't even understand why you even trying to have a debate about what Obama did. Like even liberals know Obama wasn't all that good. Certain liberals kind of traded from being a liberal to being conservative and stuff because they saw that Obama didn't do what, the right things and what he said he was going to do and stuff. A lot of people, that was like a deal breaker for them when they realized that he sat there in the office for like 8 years and really didn't help so-called black people out and everything like that. A lot of them traded sides, man, because they realized, especially when they saw Trump, doing more for black people than Obama. They was like, wow, I'm siding more with Trump now. A lot of people did that. A lot of black people did that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Joe, if you want to still keep your head in the ground, bro, that's on you. But just to let you know, we don't got to point out all the specific specs, man. You can, if you want to, you can go search it on Google yourself, bro. But more people did go to work under Trump. The economy was booming. Everything was like kind of going a little bit up instead of down. You know what I mean? And more black people, was doing better under Trump, man. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. You know what I mean? So I don't even understand why we even having a debate about who, the comparison between Trump. There's no comparison between Trump and Obama, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a Trump head. You know what I'm saying? I leave a little bit of space between me and Trump and stuff, but
right on.
I'm just calling it how I see it, though. I mean, he did more for black people than Obama did it.
Yeah,
he did way more. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Keep your head in the ground, Joe. That's on you, man. Have a good time with that. You're missing out on reality because your head is in the ground, but that's on you, man. To each his own, man. To each his own.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Lord Grimm. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I just had to go ahead and drop that real quick. But have a good one, Hake. I'll be in the chat, man.
All right. Take care.
All right. Yep.
Wow. Some super chats, guys. In the last few minutes of this first hour, I do have my favorite caller on the line and others. Hang tight, guys. I think you will enjoy. Based America First with the super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report states a female scientist declares that she is equal to God because she knows how to create a man. God says, prove it. So the female scientist gathers a pile of dust to create a man. Then God says, nope, first create the dust. Merry Christmas, Lin Yanshin, says Based America First. That's cool. Nice. Animus with the super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. As in racial animus? As in Joel Friday? Playing around. Shout out to Joel Friday. Imagine saying BLM is worse than the KKK to an out-of-control black female coworker, and she runs to your Muslim chef or chief, literally crying over that. That's the fun of life. Merry Christmas, y'all. Wow, you said that to somebody, Animus? And Animus is not Joel Friday. I'm just saying that Joel Friday, we were joking around that Joel Friday has a racial animus. It's an old inside joke. Inside for the Jesse Lee Peterson fan base. Nice. Right on. I don't know what context in which you're talking to your female coworker about Black Lives Matter being worse than the KKK. I might hold off on saying such things, but you do you, and I wish you well, man. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Hang tight, buddy. Lin Yanshin with the super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Is mouth-breathing intellectual Joe Kenyon still wallowing in his, quote-unquote, broken sexual outrage as, quote-unquote, he keeps peddling the victimhood, quote-unquote, of us blacks? She, Lin Yanshin, calling Joe a woman, what? Needs to overcome her broken nature and return to manhood instead of being an intellectual. Well, yes, being an intellectual is being emotional. Same thing. Because you're emotionally attached to your intellectualism. What a mess. So wrong. Thank you, Lin Yanshin. Some more super chats from Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@The Hake Report. Your girlfriend states yesterday that song you played during the break sounds like Boys II Men. Remember Boys II Men? Boys II Men. That's a black duo. I think they're a duo. Black boy band. And they're singing, Mary, Did You Know? Yeah, it was a little bit black boy bandish. I have another song to share with you very shortly here. Your girlfriend, also with another super chat, states, Joe cares about black people so much, he has a white wife. A white wife? I don't know if that's true. That's what she claims. I may have known, but I don't know. I know that he is part white. Ledge Clinger says, with the super chat, Joe from Phoenix is black? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark? It all makes sense now. I may not know my blacks, but I know Joe isn't conservative. And I think he's shocked because Joe from Phoenix speaks like proper English. So he sounds a little white. I mean, I remember once I told him he sounds a little bit like my dad. But anyway, except in the words that he speaks. My dad speaks much more sensibly. Don't get it twisted. Well, guys, hang tight. I shall share with you a track, a beautiful track, I think, from Phil Hahn and Steve Johnson, a couple of singers, great singers. Infant Holy, Infant Lowly. I hope you enjoy, including the haters and losers. I hope you enjoy, and I will be back for hour 2. Hang tight.
Babe is Lord of all. the babe is Lord of all. Christ the babe is Lord of all. Flocks were sleeping, shepherds keeping vigil till the morning new. Saw the glory, heard the story, tidings of a gospel true. Thus rejoicing, free from sorrow, praises voicing, greet the morrow. Christ the babe was born for you. Christ the babe was born for you. Thus rejoicing, free from sorrow, praises voicing, greet the morrow. Christ the babe was born for you. Christ the babe was born for you.
Well, wasn't that nice? Thank you to Phil Hahn, H-A-H-N. I always say he's not Asian. And Steve Johnson. Right on. Right on. A little bit of commentary from the people. Christmas riff, says Kilo Alpha 1. Yeah. Farsight's a hater. Says Obama's legacy lives on through the Hake Report. That's funny. Thank you, man. No crappy grunge music today anyway, says Butch. Shout out to the Facebook crew. I see you. And shout out to the Twitch people who feel neglected by Hake. Nice Hake guitar is fire, says Matt the American. Too much compression, says Sho Sugino. That may be my fault, but you might be right. This sounds like music, but a lot worse, says Sho Sugino. If I'm butchering your name, I apologize. Like we butchered the music. Great, says Flat Sabbath. Misty8976. What in the world, Hake? Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. What a mess. I'm chuckling at the hate that Joe from Phoenix is catching in the chat. He said, Hake hung up and ran like a coward again. It's funny, we both like to get the last word. I feel like we're both like immature and petty. What a mess. That's why our conversations drag on and on and on. But, do I want to cover a little bit more? Are you called out right now? I will get to calls. Hang tight, guys. Even Alex in Sweden is on the line over there. I'm coming to my favorite caller next, Maze. But first, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with the population. The far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. I told you about this briefly a little bit in Hake News. Yesterday, the U.S. Census Bureau released estimates that show the U.S. population only grew by 0.1% between July 1st, 2020 to July 1st, 2021. 392,665 people on record, right? On record. I bet you a whole lot of illegals didn't answer. Did you answer this survey? I plead the fifth. 0.1% is the lowest rate since the nation's founding. Granted, the nation's founding, we didn't have 330 million people in this country. So I don't know if aren't we kind of full? We just need we need to encourage childbirth, not subsidize like Obamacare did. Speaking of evil Obama, if we are having a labor shortage because we're not increasing population, maybe we should not subsidize so-called birth control. We the government, right? What a mess. And thank you, hat tip, by the way. The only reason I know that or remember that is because of the great Congressman Steve King, the guy who does not hate white people. And so he got kicked out, including by the RINOs. It's an anti-white world, if I've ever seen one. The first time since 1937 that the population grew by fewer than 1 million. For a while, we were adding 1 million so-called legal immigrants per year. And I think that we may still have, but a lot of people died. The communist overreaction to the China virus is partly to blame. They claim it's the pandemic is partly to blame, but it's the communist overreaction to the China virus. Increasing mortality, right? And less international migration, thank God. That part is good, right? I think. Deaths from an aging population and drop in fertility rates also play a role. Is that manipulation? A Census Bureau official stated population growth, quote, has been slowing for years. And we've known that. It's concerning because it could affect our labor force down the road, especially when the young people's work is subsidizing the old people's living around lounging. And then people are becoming ageist, so-called ageist. That's when you're racist against the elderly, or the young people. Remember the millennials were catching all that hate? Now boomers catch a lot of hate. Everybody hating. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim shares another reason a number of brainwashed feminist women, and a lot of women are brainwashed feminists and don't realize it. Oh my gosh. It's so brainwashed feminists that they think the B word is a bad word. Even I used to think that. They aren't having babies. They don't think they want to be mothers. They share one writer's take on her selfish choice, I say selfish, to be child-free. British writer and podcaster, 32-year-old Emma Gannon. Who? I don't know. I'd never heard of her. She writes, and I quote, I remember reading Eat, Pray, Love. You ever heard of Eat, Pray, Love? Shaking my head. And seeing Elizabeth Gilbert travel the world. There's a reason like 10 million people read that book. There was something about a woman saying, I don't want any of this. I want to go and be by myself and do yoga. What's up with these silly, evil, deluded, stupid? Can I say stupid, kids? Parents? Parents, let me know if I say stupid too much. Women going over to like Eastern traditions and saying, I don't want to be Christian. I'll go get a tarot card reading or whatever. I'll go to a crystal ball person. I'll go have my palm read. She's trying to spread this evil notion. Look at Instagram now, and it's full of people finding themselves in Bali or wherever. Yeah, that's where you find yourself. But that's why I think we need more role models, this woman says. Role models. I can't believe I hadn't seen a novel with a child-free character. And she puts it all one word. Oh my gosh. That is so communist. Remind me to talk about anti-Semitism. That word, anti-Semitism, guys. Somebody remind me today. We've got Samantha Jones in Sex and the City. Degenerate. Oh, it's Sex and the City? Or is it Sex in the City? What the heck? I was putting in. But maybe it's and. Shows what a fan I am. Not. People like Jennifer Aniston speaking about it in the news. Does Jennifer Aniston, was she married to that Brad Pitt guy or something like that? I don't remember. But she apparently doesn't have any children. She was a star in that degenerate TV show Friends. Every TV show is worse and worse and worse. Popular ones anyway. Propped up ones. That's not really enough. So she promotes her novel called Olive, or some article that she's written that she believes child-free women can be happy and fulfilled. Could be someone else's pivotal moment. So she's trying to spread this degenerate mindset. And then later in life, they realize, oh no, maybe I didn't really want that because women don't know what they want. And then they're miserable. Women are, what's her name over there? What's the woman who's over in Odyssey? One of the ladies in Odyssey. Copycat something like that. I forget. Copycat Ninja, something like that. She reminded me of the point that I just saw a super chat. It was funny. I will read it to you guys. She reminded me of the point that women are more depressed today than ever. Thanks to all this feminist stuff, you give them what they want, they're miserable more so than before. It's like spoiled children. More miserable than the non-spoiled children. I can probably understand that this woman goes on. I can probably understand that my mother my friend who's a mother of two. Two? Only two? That's not replacement rate, by the way. Is busy and that her children come first, but it was just this feeling that you aren't as important anymore, which sounds a little bit selfish and demanding. This woman is mad because she's not important. A grown woman feeling unimportant to a quote-unquote friend. What I love about being a child-free woman, all one word, no hyphen, child-free. They put it all together in one word, sick, is I do have amazing conversations with my friends who are mothers. I feel like they can tell me stuff they can't tell other moms. Moms. They do say it is competitive in the world of motherhood. But I've got nothing to judge, you know? Yeah, right. We need to normalize the idea that when are you having kids is becoming a bit of an inappropriate question to a lot of people. We don't know what people are going through. She says, I think people really need to wake up to the fact that it can be really triggering if someone's privately trying to have a baby and is struggling to conceive. Triggering, so cancel people's freedom of speech. What a mess, huh? Sick people. Okay, so I shall get to calls and then super chats, and then hopefully, if I remember, talk about this anti-Semitism, messing with the language. Like child-free, all one word. They did the same thing with anti-Semitism, that word. What a mess. But first, Maze in Dayton, Ohio, my favorite caller. How are you, Maze?
I'm marvelous, James. How are you, sir?
Marvelous as well, Maze. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry who?
I want to get to something that Lord Graham had to say.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, you do hate Obama because of his skin color. You said it one time. Do we supposed to hate because you hate?
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, but we supposed to hate somebody just because you do?
No, I don't.
Thank you. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
That question. Now get to my next question. Lord
Merry
Graham,
Christmas, Maze. You glossed over that one.
I do not celebrate pagan holidays. That's you as a Christian. That's what you want to do.
It's also a Christian holiday.
Okay?
Are you aware that it's also a Christian holiday?
What?
Are you aware that it is also a
pagan
Christian
holiday?
Are you aware that it's also a Christian holiday? We heard you the first time about pagan holiday.
It is. I want to talk about it.
So for you it is. Is that an acknowledgement that yes, it is also a Christian holiday?
If the Christians celebrate pagan holidays, I guess it is, just like Halloween and all those other things they celebrate.
So yes, you acknowledge it is also a Christian holy day.
For you.
Is that a yes?
No.
Yes, it is.
So can I
all right, go ahead.
James?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm being a little kid and grow up. Are you 40 years old?
Yeah, I'm 40.
I'm talking about wonder. But your mind hadn't got there yet.
I know.
As I was getting back to Lord Graham, what he was saying that Trump did for black people, getting them out of jail, please, that's the last thing he should have been doing.
Why not?
He did pardon a lot of criminals,
right?
But they were not black. Only person he pardoned was Lil Wayne.
Well, okay, I agree with you on in part because one of them, I know I won't cut you off. One of them went on to commit a murder. One of the people Trump let out at Jared Kushner's behest and others went on to commit a murder, according to a report that Tucker Carlson shared. So I agree with you. A lot of those criminals should never have been released from prison.
Yeah, a whole lot of them that he pardoned.
In fact, most of them. In fact, more black criminals should have been in prison, including
a whole lot of the Caucasians should still be in there too.
I know, but including
if you committed a crime, that's where you.
I put Maze on hold because she keeps on running her mouth. Motor Mouth Maze. That's not my name. Including the Waukesha Christmas terrorist, anti-white Christmas terrorist, BLM supporting blind brainwashed black who had been released on pretrial release or something like that. What a mess. Okay, Maze, go ahead.
Okay, so you're going to finish reading chat room. Read it when I finish.
I wasn't reading chat. I was talking about a black.
Different conversation.
I was putting a black terrorist. I was talking about a black terrorist who belonged in jail. He should have been in jail, not out on the streets, driving an SUV into white people and killing them, because he's mad that Kyle Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse rightly got off from his false trumped-up charges. Maze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Can I finish, James?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and as I was saying about Mitch McConnell, what did he tell the country and tell the world? He wasn't doing nothing to make he wasn't doing anything for Obama to pass nothing.
Good, because I didn't want it.
What?
We, the people, did not want Obama's socialist change.
Y'all call it social. Y'all rather have Putin to come over here and be the president than what you have now or had been.
Putin's a Christian, at least.
What?
And he's not pro-gay. And he's not pro-radical homosexual.
Like I told you, the president you have now, he gonna still look out for you all. He ain't gonna give away the country to the people.
Of course he is. He already gave away the country.
Relax your brain.
Hold on, Maze. Since she said something, Joe Biden is not. I will get back to you, Maze. She's on hold right now. She said Biden is not going to give away the country. Of course he's giving away the country. He's on record saying it on video. An unrelenting stream of immigration. Non-whites will be a majority. White Anglo stock like myself will be an absolute minority. And that's not a bad thing. That's a strength. So yes, he is giving away the country, Maze.
Well, how is it a bad thing? If that's what's happening, you just got to accept it and live with it, just like everybody else did. Because it's not the fault of the people that don't look like you that's the reason you're not having babies. There's two reasons you're not having babies, but you only look at one reason. Now, could you give me the other reason? You're not giving.
Hold on, Maze. Let me first address the notion that it's not a bad thing that the country is being given away against the will of the people, by the way.
Yeah,
it is evil to bring in people who have no values, no American values, into the country and overtake it and subvert it against the white people and falsely smear the white people as racist. That is evil. It is a lie, and that is Sleazy Joe, a liar.
So that's why you're mad with him.
All right, so among other things, but you wanted to say there's two.
To be mad with
okay,
him.
so
you don't have a reason to be upset with somebody. You just get secondhand news and you take it and not look at it.
I saw it come out of his mouth on video, and it was not a deep fake.
That's why you're upset, but it's not his fault.
I'm not upset.
I'm not having babies.
I'm just yelling because it's entertaining.
Well, whose fault is it that y'all not populating? Populating in the world anymore.
What are the
whose fault is it?
What are the two reasons that white people are a declining population? Explain.
Well, some of the women don't want to have children.
Brainwashed by feminism, anti-white feminism.
Two men cannot produce a baby.
Brainwashed by the LGBT agenda.
That's for the reason. So you should be mad with those two people, not mad with everybody else.
So you think it's women and gays?
I'm asking you, is that the two reasons? You always put it on
Are
women.
those the two reasons that you're saying?
Only way you can have one.
So those are the two reasons.
Don't want kids, and two men can't produce a baby.
How many white gays do you think that there are, Maze?
What the heck? How many it is?
Huh?
I don't know how many there is.
Good. Keep it that way.
No, you don't want to know how many. You got a number for everything else except what's going on with you all. So y'all need to get over y'all fear. That's what I'm trying to do. Joe is not going to hurt y'all, and he's not going to harm you. But then you got...
Yes, he is. He explicitly wants the unvaccinated people... He said the unvaccinated... put Maze on hold. He said that he wants the unvaccinated people to die. Well, he didn't say he wants us to die, but he said, you're going to die. If you overwhelm the hospitals. Anyway.
Lord Graham said.
I put... Maze, you were just on hold. What were you saying?
Lord Graham. He was saying what Obama was supposed to do for his people. It wasn't what Obama was supposed to do for his people. He was supposed to do for what the people elected him to do. And Mitch McConnell stopped him. So tell him before he get on Google and do all of this stuff to see what...
Hey, Maze, guess what? Hey, Maze, guess what? Hey, Maze, guess what? We elected Mitch McConnell to stop Obama. In your face! In your face!
You also elected him to do what else?
In your face!
See, there you go, being a child. You act like a 2-year-old. That's what little kids... You 40 years old, James.
Whatever.
Grow up.
I'm childlike. Anyway.
Yes, you are. Because it's not a tit for tat.
Childlike is better than childish.
You can't teach me to hate people. So you can do it all you want to. Be like Lord Graham. I mean, he got to take a little.
Okay, I have some super chats.
It makes no sense. What you hate people for? They're not doing anything to you.
Maze, you're my favorite caller. Would you like to hang out on air while I read the super chats? Because some of them may be addressed to you.
I don't care if they're addressing something to me.
Would you like to hang? Would you like? Do you like to hang out on air while I read the super chats, Maze?
I don't care. Sure.
Okay.
You want me to respond to it?
If they are addressed to you, you are welcome to. All right. So, Daisy 1356 says Joe is a bit slow, special. She says something else, but I don't want to repeat it. And then she says retarded. That was not about Maze. Asmodor states Halloween. This is a super chat on Odyssey. Odyssee. Halloween is a Christian holiday. Its original name was All Hallows Eve and is celebrated as the night before All Hallows Day or All Saints Day feast. On the night before, it was said that demons walked the earth because they would be afraid to be on All Hallows. So a tradition developed. So it is a Christian holiday. Correction for you, Maze. Asmodor states, Maze is a very low information person and wouldn't know a heathen from a heifer. There you go, Maze.
So now you finished. You want me to tell you what a heathen is?
Sure. Real fast.
A heathen is somebody that don't accept anything except being a heathen themselves and hate. That's what heathens do.
That's you. Okay.
Excuse me?
I said that's you.
You can say what you want to say about me, but I know what I am.
All right.
So, and all of those that were chatting in the chat room, they need to get their brain together and get out of the hatred mood that they're in.
Isn't this
what's really causing their problem? And it's not us.
Wasn't this special?
It wasn't Obama. Some of the economy were working good up under Trump. Well, if that was the case, why this administration now that's been in almost a year
Maze,
not doing good?
You're going off track. You're here for the super chats, not to talk about Obama.
How much he knows.
You're only here for super chats right now, Maze. This is special for you.
He's probably in there.
Maze.
Hey.
I have more super chats to read. This is special. We have
Okay,
Maze.
well, stop hating, James.
All right, Bad Baby 42. I mean, says Maze sounds like she wants to call Hake the C word, as in crack-a-bama. Get off the smack, Maze. How about that?
Tell him to sound like a grown-up and not like a little child.
All right, thank you, Maze. Nice talking with you.
Mm-hmm. Some people need to grow up and find a life. And stop hating people because somebody gave you some secondhand news. Get around the people and learn about them and see what you can learn and know about them and not stop gossiping and being haters.
Enough preaching.
And y'all can find some love in your life instead of hate. Have a good one.
You too. More super chats, guys. Based America First states, if the Waukesha Christmas parade attendees had just been fully vaccinated, then they would have been protected from being run over by an SUV, says Dr. Jill Biden. Probably. Asmodor states, the left has brought these people into the country in order to create a permanent left-wing voting majority because the American people don't support their communist designs. Anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-men, anti-common sense. Communists felt this way. Bertolt Brecht wrote, who said the people could elect a new government? The government should elect, and he goes on, I think, let me just make sure. Should elect a new people. Yeah. Oh, there was another one from Daisy 1350. The government should elect a new people. Wow. That just sunk in. I'm a little slow sometimes. Wow. And that's a quote from Bertolt Brecht. And I think he is a communist. Thank you, Asmodor, one of our resident historians. Maze is the devil, says 1356. Daisy 1356. Well, thank you, Daisy 1356. I didn't catch that one before I let Maze go, but you guys are probably relieved about that. Appreciate that. Appreciate you bearing with me through these super chats, guys. Let me get to Jonathan in Palo Alto, California, before I get to Alex in Sweden. And the lines are pretty full. There's one line open, though, guys. Let me see. Jonathan in Palo Alto. Thanks for holding, man. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, James?
Going well, thank you.
Cool. I just wanted to, since you guys were talking about Obama and all that, So, like, my number one argument for, like, you know, comparing Trump and Obama is if you look at a graph of the human trafficking arrests under Obama, for the whole 8 years, it's like a flat line.
Wow. In other words, he wasn't looking for them.
Right. He's complicit. And then as soon as Trump gets in 2 years, the rate of arrests tenfold. It increases tenfold.
When Trump got in office.
Yeah.
Wow.
Over 2 years, it increased tenfold. And that's because Trump was actually doing some, you know, cleaning it up.
Right.
Because Obama was letting it run for, you know, the whole time. And,
that's what I'd heard. My former boss, where at the cabinet shop where I worked before, told me that Obama was not going after criminals. He was prioritizing going after the people working, which I'm fine. Go after the illegals who are working. They're taking our jobs, or taking the jobs of the people who are not employed or whatever. He was going after those people and not the actual criminals. Wow, and that's true. Are you on a speakerphone right now?
No. Might be a little echoey sort of room.
Okay, no worries.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Project Veritas, one of the first things James O'Keefe did was he dressed up like a pimp, and he infiltrated this place called Acorn, which was like an Obama like immigration thing, and they were doing human trafficking, like sex trafficking.
Was it?
And James O'Keefe caught the heck out of them. It's a beautiful video. It's like one of his first things, you know.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Obama, and then you got to say, well, what are you going to do to a guy who gives guns to the cartel?
Right.
Who, like, you know, ISIS got all their moves from?
Right.
You're gonna not hang that guy for treason? That's giving guns to terrorists.
Right.
Like, here you go.
Evil.
Killing people. That just is Obama in a nutshell.
The worst that happened, too, by the cowardly Republicans, I call them cowardly, is, the Attorney General was held in contempt of Congress, and they just shrugged their shoulders. They didn't care. That was Eric Holder.
Eric Holder, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Well, I
Such a
appreciate
mess.
the recent history lesson. A lot of people have forgotten or didn't know about this stuff.
Yeah, I hope Joe Kenyon's listening. That's top beta there, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine that he actually cares about the real truth.
It's crazy.
I'm wearing a T-shirt that says facts versus truth because the liars love to deceive with facts. They bring in facts and deceive you with the facts. Whereas people like Jesse Lee Peterson, Donald Trump, yours truly, we like to tell the truth. The big picture truth. Yeah.
Heck
nice.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you.
Man, you too. Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. For sure.
Take care. Man, let me get to Alex in Sweden. He's been on hold for some time. Alex, what's up?
Hey, Hake, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
You know, Christmas times, cold here in Sweden.
Yeah, it's cold over here in LA too, for me.
Oh, okay.
He's all, okay.
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you is that recently this report came out here in Sweden about crimes, and to no one's surprise, it showed that, you know, a lot of criminals are migrants,
right?
Rapists, and especially Muslim migrants.
Yep.
And another thing that is scary now is that the youth criminals, but you know, the age between 15 and 17, it's like skyrocketing. They're rocketing in serious crimes.
Yep.
And they're also mostly Muslims, and 77% of those victims are Swedish people. So what I'm curious about,
it's not immigrant on immigrant crime. It's heavily immigrant on native Swedes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, the rapes are out of control, and the government are letting the rapists go. And yeah, it's out of control.
Wow.
So what I'm curious about is in America, because besides the black crime and all that, how is the situation in the USA when it comes to Muslim migrants recently? Because I know that a lot of Afghans came to thanks to this ordeal you had,
I haven't heard much about the, 30,000 or so Afghans who came over here, and a lot of them through chain migration, because family members of translators, supposedly, I have a hard time believing there's a bunch of translators, but, a lot of the evil people, they don't necessarily want the criminals coming over here because that's bad press for them. The evil people want the so-called upstanding ones who become educated liberals and communists and subversives in America, and Democrat voters and just sleazy people overall. But they don't care too much about the crime, and they will downplay it.
Because
you are right. And in fact, the report that you mentioned, to speak over you a little bit more, is it true that the researchers who put out that study are prosecuted or something? They're being because they're not supposed to handle the racially sensitive data like that.
No, because the thing is, the migrants, it's like holier than thou.
Yeah.
For some, it just baffles me. I don't get
meaning
it.
If you're anti-racist, the anti-racist people are self-righteous against the people who who will say what's really going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's like the women who will. It's like women who will beat down the boy who said the emperor has no clothes. That didn't actually happen in the story, but that's what would happen in real life. Yeah, man. So true.
Yeah. Also, just for the fun, that caller, she who talks so fast.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Maze. M-A-Z-E. Maze.
Yeah, she seems to have this attitude like, I didn't crash, I just didn't feel like braking.
Right. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Because, just for the fun of it, I think the kind of mentality these people seem to have, that whites are bad, whites this, everything is whites' fault, Trump bad, all that. It feels like in the future, white people are going to be like a rare thing, like diamond or gold, because these people are going to sit there with destroyed countries and like, where are the people who can build back everything? We don't know how to do that.
Yeah, true. What a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are just deluded. She's holding on to the past. She has told her children, and recounts it to this day, that she told her children, you don't have to move off the sidewalk for white people. Because I guess back in her childhood days, maybe she was traumatized or told to be traumatized, told to be angry about being told to be sort of submissive and nice to the whites, meaning step off the sidewalk for them. I step off the sidewalk all the time for the ladies who are all afraid of the China virus when I'm on the sidewalk. Because it's polite.
Because I don't get, no one, as I said, no one's perfect, but even if you said something about that Obama was black, let's just say if you did. I don't think you did, but even if you did, she was like, you said it once. It's like, what? Are you like perfect? Have you done nothing wrong? You like, everything you say is right, correct, nothing is wrong?
Yeah.
I just don't get how these people work in their minds. It's
to your question about how have we heard anything about Muslim refugees, especially Afghan evacuees is really what they are. They're not refugees. Coming into America and committing crimes. Daisy 1356 states with the super chat on Odyssey, Vincent James, who is a guy who's like a real journalist guy, did a show about the newest refugees committing several rapes and a couple of murders in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that may be examples of what you were asking about.
I know that a lot of angry people aren't going to listen to what I'm going to say, but Hake, you can look it up. Poland showed a very good example of how you handle borders, because I don't know if you knew that there was this border crisis by Poland. A lot of Muslim refugees who was trying to get into Poland and then, into Europe. I've heard of it.
Poland, I know that Poland has been very nationalistic, or at least somewhat nationalistic, in protecting themselves.
They send the military and everything, and I was like, why aren't other countries or like America? Why aren't they doing like that? But
that's what Trump wanted to do, I think. Poland and Hungary have been trying to protect their countries. And I've heard that Russia a little bit has, too, been trying to protect their children from the LGBTQ agenda and all this other stuff. And I think even China is. And I think that's what's happening with the Uyghur Muslims. I know that maybe they're going a little further than we might, we being humane Christian whites. But they're trying to protect their people from terror attacks from the Uyghur Muslims. Crazy.
Okay, I'm not going to take more of your time, but I just want to say that I really like when you say that, what's that woman's name? Ilhan Omar? What's her name?
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, some people did something. You should make it your catch.
Nice. She sounds so funny when she talks.
Yeah. It looks like if you remove the thing from her head, there would be like two goblins sitting there with levers or something.
I know. Totally true. She speaks that way for sure, like she's possessed.
Mr. Hake, to you, Chris, Nick, Jesse, to everyone, thank you for 2021 and hope 2022. And I wish you well all and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you. Take care.
And shout out to Samuel the Swede, by the way. Samuel, shout out to him.
Nice. I was just thinking about him.
Thank you for my call. You have a good one.
All right. You too, Alex. That's cool.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Oh, man. Some quick super chats before I get back to calls, guys. Coming into Dawning Armor next. Is Maze fat? Asks Taking Care of Business Bear. No, I don't think of Maze as being fat, but I have no idea. Why does she need insulin like she said on JLP? Oh, I did not catch that. And Asmodor referring to defining the word heathen, because he said that Maze would not know the difference between a heathen and a heifer. And she might be both. Heifer is a female cow, right? A female cow is a heifer. Heifer, it's spelled like heifer, Heifer. I don't know, it's a country word. Shout out to the country. A heathen is a person who does not practice Christianity. Words mean stuff, whether Maze knows what they mean or not. Well, thank you, Asmodor. Very cool. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about this global reset, if I do have time, which I intend to have time. Dawning Armor, thank you for holding. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How you doing?
Doing well as well. Thanks, man.
All right, great. And happy winter solstice.
Indeed. Yesterday was the first day of winter. Did you do anything pagan on the winter solstice, since you are a pagan atheist?
Yes, I did.
Is it family friendly, radio friendly to say what you did? Or is it personal?
I slaughtered a lamb. No, I just I made a nice meal. I've got the tree up. Everything's good to go.
Nice, man.
So I've been enjoying that. And Merry Christmas to all the Christians out there.
Appreciate that. Thank you for the goodwill.
Yeah. What I was calling in for was, I was calling in because of Lord Grimm.
Okay.
He kept bringing up he kept mentioning melanin content as if that's what really matters. Race is deeper than your skin color.
True.
Yes. It goes throughout your entire biology. It's to the bone. And I have to admonish my white brothers and sisters because they are guilty of this. And I do believe that it stems from monotheism, Abrahamic faith in particular, but other monotheistic faiths as well. White people expect non-whites to act as we do, to act and behave as we do. And it's simply not the case. It's biology.
Are you on speakerphone?
Yes, I am.
Hey, what in the world?
It's coming through. Here, I'll take it off.
Wow.
How's that right now?
I think that is better. You sound like you're closer.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I've changed my.
I think this sounds better. Yeah, this does sound better, I think.
Okay. I changed my cell phone service to a different company. So,
okay.
Yeah, we are wrong in expecting non-whites to act like whites, to have the same values, the same culture, and behave the same way as we do. They are different, not just because their skin melanin. They're different because their biology is different. It like I said, it runs through to the bone, and we just need to accept this. And monotheistic cultures, they expect everyone to behave by their guidelines, be it Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, or some other monotheistic culture that I'm unaware of. They expect everyone to behave the same. We don't behave the same. We never will. And this has been demonstrated countless times through various studies, from newborns up through adulthood. And I think that it's foolish of white people in particular to, well, it's foolish, but anyway, it's foolish because it's not the similarities that matter. We're all human beings. What matters most is the differences, and there are inherent differences, and we need to recognize that fact.
Top Oracle, which I think we all know who that is. Can I say who Top Oracle is? Says, Donning Armor, you're wrong as usual. Scientifically wrong, you loser.
No, I'm not scientifically wrong. There's plenty of studies out there that can indicate that I'm right in this.
Are you saying that you think that the biological differences are why the black and Hispanic crime rates are so out of control?
Yeah, well, it has an effect on it.
There are people going. There are people. Okay, all right. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that for sure. For sure there are differences. I don't know the source.
Well, they're biological differences. These are unchangeable differences. It's just black people are different from white people. It doesn't mean that they're not people.
Right.
But it means that they have inherent characteristics that they're not going to behave and act like white people.
I know. I used to think black people were more warlike. Here is a couple of chats. Going after you, Matt the American says, Matt the American states in the chat, hey, Donning, Lord Grimm lives on his own. What advice could you ever give him? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Seriously, he's half your age also. So he's going after you.
Okay, he lived on his own. Good for him. I'm sorry, or I'm happy, whichever one he wants, but I choose to live with my family.
All right. Well, for sure, I will say this. For sure, it is evil and silly and stupid. Sorry, kids and parents, to say or to bring in people from all over the world and pretend that they can be Americans. That I totally agree with.
The American is not an ethnicity.
I know.
I'm talking about racial ethnicities, racial groups, and we are different because
and civilized and love freedom and be like the white Christian people who've made the country great. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
People wonder why African Americans or blacks are more likely to resort to violent acts or criminality, which they are. They absolutely are. And they wonder why they can't just be more like white people. And it's because they're not white people, and we need to stop expecting that. They have lower thresholds of what is it? Oh, goodness gracious, I'm drawing a blank now. They're more prone to outbursts because of their biology, and they also gratified delay.
Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. They don't really value that.
Thank you very much. It's not that they value it or don't value it. They're just less inclined to do so.
Right.
And they're also, they hit puberty before white people do.
Especially if they don't have their fathers, the girls.
Yeah, I mean, there's many factors that play into it, and I'm certainly not a scientist.
Right.
Thank you again for helping me out with that. But there's biological differences between races. It does not come down simply to skin tone, to your melanin content, and that's the point that I was trying to make.
In defense,
and white people.
In defense of the Christians, Asador states, Christianity didn't make people misunderstand the difference between the races. It was a huge push by global elites, so-called elites, that began in the wake of World War I in order to foster globalism. Nations had been Christian for nearly 2,000 years prior to that and kept their nations intact. The elites used religion as one tool to subvert. Does that make sense?
Perhaps they kept their nations intact, but they certainly didn't keep their culture intact because Christianity was spread by the sword, not by the word.
Nice. Asador states with another super chat, he is wrong about American not being an ethnicity. Anglo-Saxon was the ethnicity of heritage Americans. Other races were expected to assimilate to Anglo-American norms. American in spirit.
The United States was founded by what they refer to now as WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. That is the case. However, that's no longer the case.
I know. And what a mess.
I see shows like yours where you show videos of black people doing black people things and Hispanics doing Hispanic things and white people doing white things. But you keep with this same narrative that we all just need to love Jesus enough and we'll all come together.
It definitely helps. It definitely helps. Daisy 1356. Dawning is right. We are not the same. So you have a fangirl, man.
Oh, wonderful. Give me your number.
All right, Dawning Armor. Merry Christmas, man.
All right, brother. Merry Christmas to you and to all the Christians out there.
All right.
And happy winter solstice.
Nice. All right, guys. Let's see. Do I have any other super chats? Oh, here is a quick super chat from Animus, who states Poland protects the German people as well from Allah Akbar people trying to get to my country. They even attack Polish police and try to crush fences with big trees. Wow. God bless the Polish. Well, thank you, Animus. Are you saying that Germany is your country? I'm not sure. That's cool. God bless the Polish. A normal person gave a super chat. A normal person. States Joe acts like he's fact-based, but he just lies and says those are facts, James. Well, thank you. And he also, a normal person also states, Dawning Armor, please come back to us when you get your life together. Then you can lecture us about meeting standards. Animus states, imagine my Thai coworker calling blacks bimbos and not losing a word over me making Chinese voices while she's giving me leftover sushi for free. Ooh, lice. Ooh, ni hao, ching tang chong. I rest my case, says Animus. Maybe I shouldn't have read it like that. What the heck? Anyway, real quick, guys, before I get back to calls, let me tell you about the Great Reset. This is from Disclosed TV. Fact checkers, quote unquote, scrambled on Twitter to clarify Klaus Schwab's plan for the Great Reset. So the far left publisher, not a platform, they keep you on a short leash. They'll ban you if you don't hate whites enough on Twitter, or if you tell the truth too much on Twitter, or if you say the election had shenanigans or something like that. The Great Reset is the World Economic Forum's proposal for post-COVID economic recovery, Reuters and the BBC report. And the World Economic Forum, what a evil-sounding name. An international NGO, non-government organization, under 83-year-old Klaus Schwab, probably not a Christian, by the way, almost definitely not, launched an initiative named The Great Reset. Reset. In June of 2020. The initiative calls for rebuilding from the COVID-19, which is a globalist buzzword for the China virus, pandemic, scamdemic, in an equitable and sustainable, which are communist buzzwords, equitable and sustainable way, according to the WEF's website. Various conspiracy theories, usually you guys are partly right anyway, oftentimes, related to the term have been debunked, if you believe what the far-left BBC, and lead stories, whatever that is, report. Most recently, an image circulated online of a letter from the WEF, World Economic Forum, inviting Dutch politicians to a forum themed The Great Reset has been taken out of context, if you believe what far left, and I mean far left, extremist, Reuters reports. I wonder if did you hear that the government under the Affirmative Action Black Secretary of State, he's the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, sleazy pro-LGBTIQ, pro-Biden, Biden selected him, and the Senate passed him, even though he's not 7 years out of the military. He's going after anybody who supports terrorist threats, and then they lump terrorist threats in with the same thing as liking extremist content online. I think that liking Reuters reports would be extremist, in my opinion. You should take a strong look at those military members who are liking Reuters. But they think that I would be extremist, I bet, maybe. They would think like normal, middle-of-the-road, real Vincent James, just down-to-earth, facts-based guy, or maybe even JLP would call them extremist content. Anyway, quick question. Do they say it's taken out of context when they say Trump said Nazis were very fine people? Remember he said that? He didn't say Nazis are very fine people. He condemned them. He went a little overboard, maybe, saying, not the white nationalists and white supremacists, because I condemn that totally. But he said, but there are very fine people on both sides who don't want these Confederate heroes torn down. And what's next? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and sure enough, those two are targeted as well. Or all the other true statements Trump said? No. The fact checkers on all these fake fact checkers, they smear whites and other truth tellers and Christians at every turn. And men, scumbags. I have some screenshots from this stuff. BBC News UK. What is the Great Reset? And how did it get hijacked by conspiracy theories? So phony. So they're running interference for the Great Reset. ESET. World Economic Forum, WEF, the Great Reset with Professor Klaus Schwab, HRH, the Prince of Wales, Clarence House, Georgia Kiva, and Antonio Guterres. It's not Gutierrez, it's Guterres. And he's a communist from the UN, I think. I think he's the UN Secretary General. Sharon Burrow, Afro Musing, Vic Alonso Perez, Ma June, Lord Stern, hashtag the Great Reset. That's creepy. Leadstories.com, fact check. The Great Reset is not a secret master plan. Yeah, it's not a secret anymore. By global elites to limit freedoms and push radical policies. It is an out in the open evil plan to push, to limit freedoms and push radical policies. Equitable and sustainable stuff? According to the WEF, the Great Reset agenda has three main components. The first is steering markets toward fairer outcomes. That sounds like limiting freedom and pushing radical policies to me. Fairer outcomes? Meaning being anti-racist and anti-sexist and anti-homophobic. The second is ensuring investments are helping to advance shared goals, such as sustainability. It's a communist buzzword. Green is the new red. And the third component is harnessing technology in support of the public good, the greater good. Remember that movie, The Greater Good? Creepy. Evil people, huh? So evil. What a mess. I'm sure all of you guys are disappointed to know that Jeremiah from Louisiana, was he from Louisiana? He hung up, I was going to get to him, but to address the black Hebrew Israelites, Merry Christmas to you guys, even though you don't celebrate Christmas, or some of you might. Some of you guys might be Christians. If you were true Israelites, you would be Christians. I notice, though, that you don't identify with what's right. You identify with what's black and in the distant past and hold on to that, holding me in great resentment for what my supposed tribe did to your supposed tribe, and your tribe back in the Jim Crow era and slavery days was treated by my tribe much better than what you're brainwashed to believe, but you want to hold on to that bitter anger so badly that guys like the guy who I had to hang up on yesterday towards the end of the show, he turned all bitter because I had a little joke. I made a little joke. He was talking about hanging ornaments from trees, and I made I don't know if it was an inappropriate joke, but a man would not be offended by a joke. But he got offended and started making evil threats and violent fantasies against whites. What a terrible shame. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So, calm down, right? Seriously. Let me read a few chats over here in response to the dawning armor guys. Asador states, I hold differing views on race as a group and members of races of individuals. There are several groups in America that have proved when treated as equals, they inevitably wreck the country. Women. Putting blacks in charge, putting anti-Christians in charge. They wreck the country, and it's a fact. Jack? If one thinks every group is the same, we get crazy nonsense like continually bankrupting our nation and turning our society on its head because blacks don't do well in the schools, and especially these schools that are against boys and whites, right? And don't have the same life outcomes when competing on a level playing field. That's the truth. They are just as easily manipulated as a tool of a particular tribe whose greatest skill is subverting and destroying host nations. What a shame. What a shame. Anyway, guys, that's Liana from Florida. I'm sorry, I cannot get to you. We are over time. But she says women don't belong in the workforce? Not, especially not married women who have children. And especially not that. But Liana, you can call me tomorrow, hopefully. This has been the Hake Report. Check out Bond Archive Sunday service coming up at 4 p.m. Pacific time today. rebuildingtheman.com/church. The Power of Love, and it'll also talk about MLK, and it'll include some of the rumors about him. All right? Thanks, guys. Take care.